footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey songs.
Yes.
And Trey's literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
And young men have left their house screaming to get away from them and their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray.
Y'all, Jaguar Wright just confirmed all our worst fears about Justin Bieber in a recent interview with Storm Monroe. Jaguar spilled all the tea about how Diddy didn't stop at using Justin for his own pleasure. He allegedly also passed him off to his friends and allowed them to have their way with the poor young Justin. Justin Bieber has also been trending these last few weeks after the raid on Diddy's homes, and many disturbing videos of him have been circulating on the internet. It has led to new conversations surrounding Diddy's weird relationship with Justin. What's worse is that according to Jaguar, Diddy has done the same thing to many other up-and-coming male artists in the industry, including Meek Mill. Now Meek Mill went into a frenzy on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, trying to prove he wasn't Diddy's boy toy. But it seems like the rumors were true after all. So did Diddy really pass Justin around in the industry? And just how many other young men did he do the same thing to?
Hey, young brother, everything's good? That's selling out arenas and everything? It's starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out. Well, I mean,
So Justin Bieber started trending sometime last year after Cassie's lawsuit dropped, because the lawsuit opened the floodgates for many shady things about Diddy to begin coming to light. At the time, it kind of seemed like people were exaggerating just how messed up things must have been for Justin when he was around Diddy. But with everything that's come out now, girl, you got to admit that there must have been something very creepy going on there, and Jaguar Wright had a lot to say about it in her recent interview with Storm Monroe. In the interview, Jaguar made reference to that disturbing footage of Justin Bieber hanging out with Odell Beckham and Trey songs, where it looks like Justin is going down on Odell. Now, some fans have tried to play this off as Justin doing some of that Coca-Cola, which you know is terrible in itself, because these are grown men encouraging a young brother into a drug-fueled lifestyle. But according to Jaguar, that wasn't no Coca-Cola at all. It was Justin doing to Odell exactly what we thought he was doing all along. And you just have to look at Justin's wet mouth at the end of the video to confirm it. And it looks like Justin may not have been doing it willingly, because according to Jaguar, Ray Songs was there as a lookout so nobody would catch on to what Odell was doing to Justin, and probably to avoid paparazzi getting a recording of the act.
And then I think about that really disturbing footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey songs.
Yes.
And Trey's literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
The boy came up with his mouth wet.
Mouth wet.
What?
Dribbling. Now what they're gonna try to say is, no, Justin Bieber was just doing a line of coke. No, he didn't mess with his nose when he came up.
He was doing a line of coke with his mouth.
He wiped his mouth. When you do
his mouth was wet.
You do this when you finish your line.
His
you wipe your mouth when you
wet. The post-nasal drip, that was seminal fluid.
It was Odell there.
It's just a sick situation. Jaguar then went on to talk about how Justin must have started going down this path from the moment he spent those 48 hours with Diddy. Now that footage of Diddy promising to give Justin Bieber a Lamborghini and a house has caused a lot of controversy because it was taken during their supposed 48-hour station. But with everything that's come out about Diddy since then, girl, I can't even watch that video without shuddering at the thought of what Justin must have gone through in the name of Diddy's mentorship. And did y'all know Did he actually gave Justin that Lamborghini? Yep, he did. Not 2 minutes after he got his driver's license, Justin was spotted cruising around town with a Lambo resembling the one Diddy promised him in that footage. So if Diddy didn't give it to him, well, that's one mighty coincidence. But what you'll need to ask yourselves is, why would Diddy give a random kid a car like that unprovoked? Well, a lot of people speculated that Diddy was just doing what any good sugar daddy would do, giving his boy toy expensive toys in exchange for getting that sugar. Now we've seen all the horrible things Diddy allegedly did to Cassie from her lawsuit. We've also seen all the things Lil Rod claimed he did. So if word on the street is anything to go by, then it must have been 10 times worse for Justin, because he was so young when it all started. I mean, just take a look at how bright and innocent Justin looked in that video. Now put that side by side with how Justin looked less than a decade later. Yeah, they messed him up real good. But what's crazy is how people are only just clocking this tea now when the signs were there all along. I mean, look at how scared Justin was while talking to Diddy in this footage. My guy is literally fumbling his words because Diddy put him on the spot. Now, allegedly, the backstory of that footage is that Justin team had deliberately kept him away from Diddy for a while because they believed Diddy was doing too much and causing Justin's mental and physical health to derail. That explains why things were so awkward between them when Diddy finally hunted him down, ready to pick up their shenanigans where they left off. Then there's this footage of Diddy appearing to pat Justin down to see if Justin was wearing any wires. And I don't know what Diddy whispered in his ear, but Justin ended the meeting with "love you." Another clue people missed is how Justin started getting into alcohol and substances after he started associating with Diddy. During Diddy's 2014 pyro party, Justin Bieber was spotted holding a bottle that looked like aqua hydrate, which is supposed to contain a clear liquid. But if you look closely at Justin's hand, the bottle he's holding contains a suspicious yellow liquid that could have been alcohol or really anything else. Years later, Justin talked about how that moment of his life was tough because he was hurting, unhappy, confused, angry, misled, misunderstood, and angry at God. So that tells you he was really going through it, even though it looked like he was having the time of his life at the peak of his career. Of course, y'all know Diddy was not the only cause of Justin Bieber's problems. He entered the industry very young and didn't have much guidance, so despite being young, he has been manipulated and objectified in every way you can think of. Mind you, it was adults doing this, from his fellow artists to interviewers and hosts. Everyone wanted to get a chunk of sweet JB, whether he was willing to give it up or not. Take Ellen DeGeneres, for example. She literally displayed this incredibly exposing paparazzi shot of Justin on her show, and then asked him some weird questions about it.
Bungalow.
Yeah.
And you, because usually we're all pretty good at spotting paparazzi.
Yeah.
They hide in boats and pretend to be fishermen, and we're like, you're paparazzi. I mean, we're pretty good at it. How did you not see that there was paparazzi there?
Well, I just didn't see them. I think I wasn't really looking out for them either, so.
Was there a boat, when you think back on it now, can you see where they may have been?
Yeah, they're definitely in a boat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how quickly after that was shot did you realize that happened? Did that go on wire right away?
Yeah, it was pretty much like a couple days. It was like a couple days later, Scooter hit me. He was like, yo, I hate to tell you this, but.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad. Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening to at the moment?
Barely a year later, Justin was at the 2012 AMAs with Jenny McCarthy. And just look at what she was doing. Mind you, Justin was barely 18 here, and Jenny was 40 years old, and he basically had to pry her off himself. He was so uncomfortable that when he started to give his acceptance speech, he first said, "Wow, I feel so violated right now. Wow, I feel violated right now. Wow." In another clip, an interviewer was asking 15-year-old Justin about the talk. And he even had to call them out on it, because why are you asking a 15-year-old stranger that type of question?
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Child, Justin Bieber has definitely been through a lot in the industry. And the fact that he even had the strength to pull through the dark times is nothing short of a miracle. It's crazy that while all this was happening, the people who should have been there to protect him, aka Usher and Diddy, were doing the exact opposite. Imagine that. Okay, for context, Usher strolled into Justin's life almost as soon as Justin arrived in Atlanta with Scooter Braun. He was just 13 at the time. According to Justin's mother, Patty Mallet, she prayed really hard for Justin to encounter good people in the industry who would treat her son right. When Usher and Scooter Braun came around, she thought they would be the answers to her prayer. But she couldn't have known at the time that they would be the opposite. Usher took Justin under his wing as a mentor, even appointing his friend Ryan Good to act as Justin's swagger coach and road manager. According to Patty, that's when she started losing control of her son. Justin was just a young boy coming from a humble background, and all of a sudden, he was one of the most famous people in the world. And he had made more money than anyone in his family had ever touched. Patty said Justin needed someone to ground him amid all that. But unfortunately, she couldn't do it because she didn't have access to him when he went on tours. As much as we like to blame the parents of some child stars for exposing their children to all weird, sometimes they're actually no match for the vultures and the wolves in the industry. Fast forward a few years, and Usher had already introduced Justin to Diddy. And that would be the beginning of Justin's decline into the deep dark. If word on the street is anything to go by, then Diddy didn't waste any time in making Justin his boy toy under the guise of mentorship. Just like he did with Usher, we all heard Diddy say he got legal guardianship of Usher when he was producing his first album. And what did he do in his duty as a so-called legal guardian? Well, he exposed Usher to the adult lifestyle. Usher talked about his experience living